Are you ready for an extreme makeover of the mind? With the producer and host of A Better You podcast, the transformational coach whose assignment is to challenge people to change, grow, and evolve into the individuals they were created to be. Here is Dr. Anthony McFarland, providing you with practical tools and wisdom for everyday life challenges for you to win in life, relationships, and finances.
Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to bring up at this time Coach Marcia. Welcome to the ABU Master Training. Excited to be with you all again. And in just a moment, we'll be able to bring everybody into the room. Hi, Marcia.
Coach Anthony, how are you?
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Absolutely marvelous.
Yes. As we get started, I am going to turn it over to you to share with our partners that are in the room, platinum partners, and take it away.
All right. Well, it's good to be here. It's always good to have an opportunity to grow and to learn and to be with people that are like-minded, because we learn from each other. We don't learn in a vacuum. And so it's wonderful to be here with everyone and to learn. And I wanted to kind of ask some questions tonight, not just as an icebreaker, but also to have some thoughts where you are with some of the things you're thinking about. So unmute yourselves for a few minutes and I'm going to ask some questions. But before I do, let me pray us in. Thank you, God, for the opportunity to be here, to learn, to grow, to get wisdom, and to share our wisdom and knowledge with others. We thank you for what we will not just learn, but what we will implement in the next sessions after we leave here. We'll start implementing what we learn. And we thank you in the name of Jesus. Amen. So I want to ask you a couple of things, and everybody will not always have the same question, but I want you to think about a few things. First of all, what is the best advice you have ever been given? Now, anyone can answer, but if you don't, I'm going to pick somebody to answer the question. What is the best advice that you have ever been given? It doesn't matter what the advice was, but what was the best advice you've ever been given? Derek, how about you?
Well, that makes it good evening, Marcia and everyone. It makes me think of what my grandmother said. She said, you got to learn to live and let live. I thought that was a a wise notion about life.
Yeah. And what did that mean to you? Live and let live? Because, some people can take things and kind of see it a different way.
Yeah, it means that as we go through life, things would happen, and you have to learn to not walk, or as my godmom would say, you got to let go of the rock. So you can't take certain things with you or hold it at a place where it becomes a burden to you. You have to learn how to release things and continue to keep moving forward in that, and to allow God be God. Everyone is His kid, so we live and let live. We enjoy life, and things that we don't understand, leave it alone, keep moving.
Keep moving. I like that. Live and let live. I think I've heard that before. All right, Modesty, my dear, how are you this evening?
I am doing well. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. I'm excited about this evening and what we're going to learn with Coach Anthony, and I'm ready to start the process. So let me ask you something. If you could meet any living person for dinner, who would you pick and why?
Wow. I hear the doon, 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 doon in the background. Any living person. As of lately, honestly, there's a lot of people that I would like to meet, right? But just off the cuff right now, I would say Bishop Dale Bronner. I've really been following him lately, and I would like to have a conversation with him. I've been learning a lot from him too.
Okay. And the why is because you've been following him, or the
why? He's really been breaking down the Bible. I listen to a lot of his sermons, and so a lot of life lessons.
Okay.
A lot of my life all of our lives, right? But it's just like when pastor is sometimes his sermon seems like he's been peeping through your window, like, how did he know I was going through that? you know. But no, it's yeah, that he's a very, very eloquent speaker, and yeah, I've been learning a lot from him lately. Yeah.
Okay. He resonates with you.
Resonates, yes.
Yes, yes. Sandy, are you on?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. So even though I'm seeing your beautiful picture, I am going to ask you if you could eliminate one thing from your daily routine, what would it be and why?
My manager.
Your work manager?
My work manager, I would eliminate her. I just said that today.
Prophetically spoken.
Yeah, that I would definitely, I mean, I wouldn't do her any harm, but I would redirect her position.
All right. Minister Lori, how are you today?
I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. You know,
Good.
people always talk about time. If they had more time in the day, that they would do certain things. And if you had a 25th hour in the day, what would you do? How would you spend that time?
That's a good question. I think I would spend it at my computer.
Okay. Is there anything in
Working.
particular? Working. Okay. All right. All right. And the reason I'm asking these questions is for us to think about what's important to us, how we're living, what's going on in our lives and our work lives,
Mhm.
the people that influence us, like,
Mhm.
you know, the dinner question. So I'm going to ask, Joshua, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm actually driving right now, but go ahead.
Okay, so the question for you is someone else has answered. If you could meet any living person for dinner, who would you pick and why?
Right now, that's on the top of my head is this. I guess he's kind of a motivational speaker right now named David Goggins.
Mhm.
He's a black guy, former Marine, just been through a lot of hardships, and he does a lot of just basically self-motivation books. Because I truly believe that I'm my worst enemy. No one else can really do anything to me that I don't do myself, as far as just hindering myself in terms of procrastination or being in the thoughts and stuff like that. So yeah, I wouldn't. I was just listening to his audio book, "Can't Hurt Me" today. So I guess it's kind of fortuitous that you would ask the question.
But that's, you know, Joshua, that's good that you have the ability to think about what you do, and that the procrastination is what is the factor. And hopefully through that and this, you find a way to break out of that, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
And it's
Mhm.
more of just indecision. You know,
Mhm.
I don't know if it's a television show or something, but they said that more is lost by indecision than wrong decision. Meaning, you know, if you make a choice and it's wrong, okay, you're gonna, you know, suffer a little bit. But if you just don't make a choice at all and you just let things happen and let them go and all of that, they always get worse. Almost, they always get worse.
That's good. That's a good piece of advice. Well, thank
Yes,
you
ma'am.
all for participating. And I'm going to turn it back over to Coach Anthony for him to lead us in tonight's ABU training.
I wanted to see how gifted you all were and able to prophetically discern what I was saying. So with that, I said to let's give it up for Coach Marcia. Awesome questions, thought-provoking questions that she posed to this group tonight. I believe that everyone here in the room is going to really benefit from this master training. A lot of it has to do with my personal beliefs and how I go about life and the disciplines that I have come to practice to get results in different areas of my life. And so with that, tonight we're going to talk about self-mastery. Whether you're in business or not, one of the things that I've learned over the years is that we learn to master ourselves by being honest with ourselves and being willing to get out of our own way so that we can produce a different fruit, a greater version of who it is that God has created us to be. One of the things that I've also learned is that growth is not a one-time occurrence or a seasonal occurrence. It's a lifetime process. And so one must be willing to grow in order for self-mastery to really happen. If you're not willing to grow, if you're not willing to be honest with yourself, then it will almost be impossible for you to master the different compartments of your life, if that makes sense. And one of the things that I've learned as an educator, a pastor, a coach, counselor, and more importantly, teacher, is that how you learn determines how you grow. How you learn determines how you grow, because the information I'm going to share with you tonight, some of the secrets to self-mastery that I am going to reveal tonight, is a game changer. So again, you have to be willing to grow. You have to want to grow. When I say willing, that means that you will to do things differently. You will to step back and take an honest look at the different aspects of your life and say, okay, this area here, I not only need to improve, but I also need to master. It may be a character flaw. It may be a bad habit. Whatever it is, you have to want to grow in order to master it. So with that, I'd like for everyone, before we jump into this, to write down the one thing that you would like to change, and more specifically, master in your own life. What is that one thing that you would like to master in this season of your life? And we can't master everything. So that's why I'm not giving you a list of 5 things or 3 things. What's the one thing? It could be how you react to certain things, certain situations and circumstances, and you want to respond and not react. What is that one thing? Once you have it, I just want to hear you say, I have it. I got it. I wrote it down.
I have it.
Okay.
I have it.
All right. Very good. Very
I
good.
have it.
Good. Welcome to the ABU platform, those that are coming in the room. Okay, very good. So again, how you learn is more important than just learning. Ignorance is the absence of truth, and the willingness to apply that truth. Knowledge is the accumulation of truth. So understanding and revelation is the assimilation of truth. We can know a lot, but not know how to apply it. We can understand and not have revelation and not know how to put that truth, that principle into play. So if I'm accumulating truth, I'm collecting it, but collecting it and doing something with it is 2 different things. For example, for the believer, it's so valuable and important not to just memorize scripture, but to learn, understand, gain revelation, and be able to apply the word of truth to our lives. A lot of us have truth or different levels of wisdom. And I like to drop a lot of wisdom nuggets that are placed in our mind, it's placed in our spirit. But that can refer to and give you a better understanding of the things you come across in life when you actually know how to put it into play. So you didn't just learn it, you actually understood it, you got revelation of it, and now you know how to assimilate it, put it into play, put it into action. The reason that you hear me say, grab a pen and a paper, if you're whatever platform you're on and you're following me and I'm teaching, I'm in sessions like this, I'm really an advocate for people taking note, because you're not only hearing or seeing a presentation, but you're willing to write the information down in order to go back and review it, retain it, to be able to regurgitate it after you have consumed it. So listening is not enough. You have to write it down, then go back and review it again and again so that you can do what? Retain it. And when you're able to retain it, you'll be able to regurgitate it after you have consumed it. So that's the same thing in principle when you hear me talking about triggers, knowing your trigger. Once you've identified your trigger, then it's important that you know how to rebut or take authority over the trigger, so you're not triggered because you have a plan of action. You know what to do. You understand you have the tools, the resources, you understand them. You have a revelation of how to apply a new truth to your life so that you don't end up back in that negative place. In essence, what I'm talking about is repetitious learning. Repetitious learning is key to growth. For example, every platinum part in the room tonight has the ability daily, weekly, or monthly to go into the back office and review special content, sessions, master trainings for their own personal benefit. There's a video back there, and I won't ask for a show of hands, from the Unstoppable event in the back office. Many people were asking, when is this going to be available? Man, I know somebody needs to hear this. It's in the back office. So as your coach, I encourage you to go and check out the content that is there, especially for you. Why? Because I want to see you win. You're not a platinum partner. You can join the community for, man, $15. What is $15 a month? That's less than a lunch. So again, back to my point, repetition. Here's the definition of repetition. Repetition means the action of repeating something that has already been said or written. So it's important that you understand that learning from repetition is pervasive. We get better the more we practice. The more we practice, the better we get, i.e., a better you. Think about it. We learn to ride a bike through repeated what? Practice. We learn the words of a foreign language, gracias, by what? Studying them over and over again, hearing them over and over again, speaking them over and over again, speaking the word or the sentence over and over again. I have a question for you, and I want everybody to respond to this, specifically those platinum partners, my platinum partners. How many of you, and you can unmute yourself, how many of you, and it's not a trick question, have mastered your elevator pitch? Those that are, those in business. How many of you have mastered your business pitch? Those of you who are not entrepreneurs, those of you who are not business owners, how many of you can share with the group right now who you are without thinking about it? I ask people all the time, tell me who you are. Okay, all right. Okay, come on, Linda.
Oh, you want me to go now?
Okay, are you just raising your hand?
Oh, yeah, no, I'm ready. I'm ready always.
Okay, come on. I love it.
Okay, so what was your question again? Say it one more time.
Tell us who you are. Tell us who Linda is.
Unstoppable, relentless, determined, giving, outspoken, generous, hardworking, dependable, liable, compassionate to a fault.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Come on, you guys, give her a hand. Give her a hand. One of my platinum partners in the chat box said, I have not, and I need to keep saying it. Are you guys seeing the power in this? So whether you're in business, it's just personal life, it's all about evolving and becoming a better you. Again, that's my assignment, to challenge you to change, grow, evolve, and become the best version of yourself that God created you to be. So how do we learn? See, it's not just learning, it's how you learn that makes the difference. Have you ever watched that TV? Have any of you ever watched the TV show called Name That Tune? Think about it. How are you able to name that tune?
You can recall it.
You can recall it. Why are people able, they got the shows now where you have to be able to name the title of it or finish the words. Jamie Foxx has a new show. But why do we know the words to most songs that we hear?
It's repetitiously.
That's
the beat.
Exactly. Somebody said the beat. Well, listen,
Yeah.
you listen to the words to that song. You listen to the lyrics, you listen to the
and over.
melody over and over again. And sometimes all it takes you, how many of you know that it only takes you about 5 or 6 times,
right,
listen to a song before it catches?
Yeah.
See,
yeah.
if it's meaningful, it catches.
Yeah.
I concur, Pastor. You are right on. I was just in the bathroom dancing to this song that I just got wind of like 3 days ago, and I thought I would never listen to it. And I'm just listening to the words, and I'm just jimmy jamming.
Yeah.
And now I can sing along with it. So I concur.
That takes me back to where my father used to drive us to school, and all of us it was about 4 girls, and he would say, how come y'all know the words to all those songs, but you don't remember that homework assignment?
Yeah.
That used to irritate me to no end.
Right. That's
But we
right.
always said, because we hear it over and over again. And he said, yeah, but if you listen to what the teacher's saying over and over again, you should learn that too.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. He's absolutely right. So just as much as we find repetition in jingles,
Yeah.
we also find it in persuasive writing. Repetition can also be used in types of persuasive writing and media, advertisements. So this is for all my entrepreneurs, my business owners. Adverts repeat certain words to grab the reader or the audience attention. Love that chicken from anybody. Can anybody finish that?
Yeah, Popeyes,
Popeyes.
Pastor.
Right. So in that commercial, in an advertisement, they might repeat free or 10% off to make the offer stick in people's mind so that they're more likely to take up the offer later. Some might also repeat positive adjectives to describe their product, modesty, to make the audience think to think a certain way about their product. So it's all in messaging and words, which have to be written. And once written, spoken. And once spoken, people will hear it. And the more spoken and they hear it over and over, ABU, a better you, they then all of a sudden they start to regurgitate. For example, a water park might say that it's fun, 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 right? So the more you hear that this place is fun, 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 it's going to do what to you? Even if you see it in print, you hear it, it's going to get your attention. And the more you hear it, the more you believe it. And then the more you hear it, you'll also be able to repeat it. Red Robin. So repetition is a good way to get an idea to stay in our minds, which is why many advertisers are fond of it. And so many adverts get stuck. Watch this. So many advertisements get stuck in our heads. Why? It's repeating. It's repeating. And again, the reason that repetition learning is so effective, it's good because repetition provides the practice that anyone needs to master a new skill. Same thing in elementary school, provides the practice that the children need to master. We're just going to work on this week, addition. Next week, subtraction. Following week, multiplication. Or this whole month, we're going to be on multiplication. And every day, you're going to practice those same formulas over and over again. And what happens as you're learning? Repetition helps to improve speed, increases confidence. See, this is are you guys getting this? And it strengthens the connections in our brains. Listen to me, that helps us learn. So here's the booster shot. I want to really bring it home. Your elevator pitch doesn't just happen, Sandy, because you learned the formula. It happens, Modesty, because you wrote it, you wrote it down, you read it, and repeated it. You repeated what you learned until it was ingrained inside of you. So that when asked, who are you? Or what is it that you do? You just fire it off. You just fire it off. That's how automatic recall kicks in. Got it? So automatic memory recall is simply, it's your brain organizing information into what's called dominant neural pathways. So it can retrieve the information as quick as possible. Why? It's in there. You know it, you understand it, you have a revelation of it, it's ingrained in you, and you're able to assimilate that truth, that information. So again, gathering knowledge and information is one thing, but engaging it and applying it are three different things. So here's the number one enemy. If you receive the blast, I said I was going to share the number one enemy to growth, and it's called the unconscious fear or pain of growth. In addition to the rewards and gratification, growth also brings, whether you're conscious of it or not, pain. Why? Because each step forward brings us into the unfamiliar and what can register in the brain as a possible danger. I'll be very transparent with you. Going on this journey, deciding a year ago, I believe March, to turn this platform into a better you and start to focus on coaching. Did my first event last year, just to launch the platform, nothing big, just to launch the vision. I did it with my book, Cracking the Legacy Code, How to Pass Down Generational Wealth. I'm going to tell you, I mean, it was unfamiliar territory. And as much as I studied and as much as I thought I had prepared, listen to me, there was the possible danger of failing. And then what about when you feel like you're failing because you're not being as productive as you want to be? Here's what you have to understand. Each step forward requires us to give up something familiar and potentially satisfying, which is oftentimes comfort, in order to experience something different. And here's another thing that I learned in this process, because this has been new territory. It's not new territory for me coaching. I can counsel, I can coach people all day long with my eyes closed. It's building a platform, a network. I have not built this type of platform or network before. I've built platforms and networks and businesses, but this was different and new territory. There's so much to learn, so much to learn. And that's a part of my mission. My purpose is to see people win. I want to see each and every one of you win in your personal lives as well as your business endeavors. So let's flip the reel. And this was a shocker when I learned this in terms of the dynamics of what growth means. Growth can mean, whether you realize it or not, Linda, Andrea, Joshua, a separation. Separation. What do I mean by separation? A kind of death or rebirth, as well as the grief and mourning that comes with, hear me, the loss of the old and onto a new and better you.
Thank you for tuning in to a Better You program with Anthony McFarland. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow on your favorite podcast platform so that you never miss an episode. Thanks for listening.